Okay, good morning everybody, it's Mike, and thanks for joining me this morning, the start of a new week. Hey, last week I ran a series on tips from a 30-year career, right? And it was so popular, I got so many messages, I thought I would continue it into this week because I still have a whole bunch more really good tips that I've accumulated through the past 33 years and more than 10,000 homes sold. And I want to share them with you in hopes that it helps you sell more homes in less time, and you don't need to take 3 decades to accumulate all this. Okay, last week we had some fun with different concepts like the reason to use preferred vendors, and not a wide variety of topics, right? No early move in, move out with your transactions. Don't let your sellers move out before closing. Don't let your buyers store things in the house before closing. We talked about target audiences. We talked about a wide range of tips. Today what I want to talk to you about is something that's really appropriate for this time of year, and that's time off. Now look, I'm a big fan of time off. There's 2 things in this business that I'm absolutely in love with. Free, me and free get along really well, and time off. I think that through my career I've learned how to, I'll challenge, maybe we should have a contest about this one day. Let's see who takes the most time off each year. I'm going to bet you I'm going to win this. But I've learned in my time in Atlanta real estate how to take a lot of time off and it not be too impactful on my real estate business. And I want to share some of those concepts with you today. The first is to have a coverage partner. Okay, now look, I don't mean that you start a team, which, you know, I'll have that conversation that anybody wants to have it, but usually it's totally ridiculous. And I don't mean a permanent business partner. That's a whole different strategy. I mean a coverage partner. Doctors do it, lawyers do it, why can't we? One of my neighbors is a physician. He's not on call 24/7. He takes a lot of time off with his family too. But his patients don't suffer because of it. So why don't we do that more in the real estate business? Take the time off, but have a coverage partner. Somebody that handles your business while you're gone, right? Because is there anything more unprofessional than trying to reach an agent who doesn't return calls, or worse yet, what's the worst, right? Their voicemail box is full. And so, well, you think, well, that's really unprofessional, so I guess I'll send them an email or I'll text them. But you get no response to any of that. And who really suffers? Well, I'll contend that there's 3 people that really suffer than that. The co-op agent who's trying to communicate with you, they're one. Your reputation in our industry suffers, because I know what I think of people when I bump into them and their voicemails full and they're completely unresponsive. I know what my opinion of that individual is. But you know who suffers the worst? Your client. And I know so many of you are passionate about customer service. Well, if you are, then you have to arrange for coverage while you're away. Okay, and we all need to take the time off. I want to be proud of I can sell the most homes and take the most time off. That's a contest I want to win. But I don't want my customers to suffer. I don't want my reputation to suffer. I don't want other agents in the community to suffer because I've chosen to take some time off. Now, my coverage partner and I might work like this. Sure, cover for me while I'm away on, quote, vacation. But maybe I don't want to have to be on call every weekend. It creates the sense, it's not actually true, but it does create the sense and the feeling that I'm working all the time. Maybe I want to be off every other weekend, and my coverage partner and I can swap weekends. I cover for them one weekend, they cover for me the next. Maybe we swap holidays. I don't have kids at home, so maybe I'm more available on Christmas than my coverage partner who has a 5-year-old at home, right? So how about this? How about if I cover for you on Christmas, you cover for me on Thanksgiving? We have Labor Day coming up. That'll be our next major holiday, right? You going to take some time off on Labor Day? Who's covering your business? Now look, I'm going to leave you with this morning. If you do come up with a coverage partner and you guys decide that you want to help each other and work together in that way, do it with this piece of advice. Be generous to a fault. Be generous to a fault. Look, if you get an offer on your listing and you're my coverage partner and I negotiate that offer for you while you're away, I don't expect anything in return for that. If somebody wants to see one of your listings, I'm glad to do it. If there's a problem, one of your customers has a question, I'm glad to do that. At no fee charged, no referral fee, no fee. Why? Because I want you to do the same for me. And coverage partners can work great if both people are generous to a fault. If it's all about you, then you and I aren't going to be coverage partners for very long. I want to be generous with you when I'm covering for your business. I want you to be generous with me when you're covering for mine. If you come at it from that angle and you sit down with a calendar and you map out the next 6 months in advance, what's fair and equitable, what works well for both of you, a little planning. Coverage partners can be a great way of maintaining work-life balance. Actually, when you're away, be present with your friends and family. Put the phone away knowing that somebody's there to cover it for you. Now, this is Mike asking you to go out there and make it happen for yourself today.